Yes. Okay, I did it. Oh, technology is such a struggle for me. It's not even funny. It's scary how hard it is for me. Hi there. I hope you're doing okay. I am doing okay. Thank you. Today's my me day. This is my son's 1 day a week where he's at daycare. So I've been just like getting stuff done all day, and I am all caught up on podcasts for the month. I've all uploaded, labeled, cover photo, everything. And that's the first time this has ever happened to me. Like, I've never been able to sort of work ahead, which is really awesome because I can just be thinking about other things for a little bit. And I chose not to clean the house today. It's not horrible. Um, but I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna clean. And when he comes home, it's going to still be messy, and that's okay. Like, all I ever do when I'm home, I feel like it's clean. And if you are a stay-at-home parent or a partially stay-at-home parent, or even if you're not, you probably understand what I'm talking about. It's just like clean, clean, clean. So yeah, I'm really proud of myself for just being like, nope, we're just going to let that one. We're going to work on other stuff, take a break when we need it, and go from there. What are you listening to? What do you mean? What am I listening to? I love your lives. I'm so happy I'm on. Oh, thank you. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I really wish that I could go live more, and I wish that I had more consistency. And I say that every single time, but it's pretty much just, whenever I get a free little bit of like probably an hour or so, and I come on to hang out. When is your trip? I want to save money and come. One of them is in March of 2023, but I don't think that one is going to get filled up. I don't want to blame, but they made a mistake on the Costa Rica trip, and I haven't been able to market it because I'm not going to send it out with a mistake. And I also just haven't been marketing because I'm like, I'm not going to market it. No one can sign up anyway. So I think that one is going to get canceled because we have to have 8 people within the next like 28 days. And that's not very much time for people to think about it unless they're like, no, for Christmas, I'm going to buy myself this trip. Like, we're going to do this. But the other trip is in August of 2023. And so that gives you a little bit more time. That's to Greece. And thank you for asking about that, because I've sort of just have like so much going on that I haven't been talking about the trips that I'm hosting next year. If you don't know what we're talking about right now, I am hosting trips. The goal is to have a safe space for survivors of abuse, for queer folks. These are 2 communities I'm a part of that I'm really passionate about. And even, parents who feel like they can't otherwise travel, because it is really hard as a parent. Sometimes we want to go, we want to travel, we want to do something for ourselves, meet a fun group of people, spend some time in Greece, but we feel like we're judged. Like, why are you leaving your kid? Like, why are you whatever? So that's kind of my goal with that. But with that, you just have to have a down payment. You have to put a down payment down to book the trip, and then you can make payments on it. And you just have to have, I think it's like 60 days before the actual trip. So June of this year, you just have to have it paid. Yeah, I really need to start talking about that more. But yeah, thank you for asking. I would love to have you there. Podcasts. I meant, which podcasts are you listening to? I don't really listen to podcasts. I was talking about my podcast, which is called It's Not All Rainbows. And actually, the one that I am publishing tomorrow, I interview a fellow survivor of abuse in a queer relationship. And I'm super excited to share that with all of you because her story is eerily similar to mine. I actually got to meet her in person when we were in Austin, Texas, when the Narc Avengers had our meet and greet a couple weeks ago in Austin, Texas. And she was talking, and I was just like, you're coming on my show. And she was like, okay. So I got to interview her on Friday, and the episode is ready to be published tomorrow. So it's a little bit longer because obviously there's 2 of us, and she's, sharing her story and things like that. But it's gonna be good. I'm really excited for it. How do you break the cycle of a couple where one has an alcohol problem, then the other spouse says really hurtful things because they're frustrated, but then that just makes the other person want to? Okay, sorry. I'm going to answer this other question while I'm waiting for you to. I didn't realize that this was going to be like a couple questions in one, or yeah, you know what I mean? Love all your videos. You are really helping a lot of women with your honesty. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. It's been really interesting. You know, I've been talking about this actually probably around this time. Couple weeks from now, it'll be a year since I started like saying the word abuse and started creating content about what I went through. So it's only been, I can't click the, okay, I can't click the question that it's on screen because I also have TikTok on right here. And I'm right now, the only questions are coming from TikTok. So I'm trying my best over here. Okay. All right, what was I going to say? Yeah, it's been really interesting because the reactions from people, it's like, I mean, I don't know, I haven't like done the numbers or anything, but like there's people who are just immediately like, no, no, this is an abuse. Like you're lying. Or it's not even that. It's like you're obsessed with your ex. Why are you still talking about this? And then there's like the other people who see my content and they, you know, believe me and they're relating to it. And it's just been so interesting. It's like this giant experiment of like, and Ben Taylor from Raw Motivations is watching on YouTube. And I feel like Ben probably experiences the same thing where there's people who are like, this person is sharing their story. This is a real thing and I'm gonna, you know, ask questions, I'm gonna interact. And then there's people who are like, this is crap. Why are you doing this? It's like really wild. It's really wild. You have given a whole meaning to the word adorable. Oh, okay. You're live. Yay. Hi, Charity. How's it going? How are you? Oh my gosh, long time no see. What made you self-aware? Great question. What made me self-aware? I don't even know how to answer that. What would you call someone that what would you call someone that makes you feel guilty about the things you get to do? Like in what way? Like, can you give me an example? I wouldn't necessarily be concerned about what I would call that person. Like, what's the label or like, what is that person? Like, what do they have or why are they like this? Unfortunately, TikTok, my phone keeps telling me that it needs charge. So there might be a struggle here. My tripod sucks. So we're just gonna, okay, this is great. This is Oh my gosh, I just realized I was muted. I'm having a hard time. I should not be live right now. I'm just like struggling. I muted myself for YouTube and Facebook. But anyway, yeah, oh man. My brain is just melting right now. Seeing you dissociate from a trigger makes me want to fight someone. Oh, thank you for seeing me. It means a lot to me when people like see like things that I like. Obviously I was very aware, like I immediately was like, here we go. But it's being an abuse survivor, like, and a lot of people in here are going to be like, it's very isolating. Like, you know, I could have 100 people in this room and many of them might not have seen what that flash that came across my face or whatever it was you saw. Like, it's very isolating. So thank you for seeing that. The illusion of what I imagined our life could have been like. So you're still holding on to the illusion, and you said the word illusion, so that tells me that you are aware that it's not real. And that comes with breaking the trauma bond. I think you said you just went no contact, but breaking the trauma bond and accepting what it all is for what it all is, and you know, starting the healing process and, you know, working through all that stuff. Yes, yay, I'm gonna get it right. I had a narc attempt to kidnap me, so know the fear of people at the door. I'm sorry that happened to you. That's mine too. But they weren't coming after me, they were coming after my son. And so if you're even like near my house, I'm like ready to fight you. My son's not here right now, so it's okay. But yeah, that's very jumpy about that. And you know, it's really unfortunate because if my abuser watches my stuff and sees this, they're gonna be like, yeah, I made her get scared on TikTok in front of everyone. But if any of you see that and you can see me like a year out, and I try to be really authentic with all of you and be like lately I've been making content about like a you know, a flashback that I'll have that's so harmless, but it's still there and it's still something, like, you know, it's these tiny little thoughts that's like, I didn't ask for that, I didn't want that. And if it helps you all feel less alone, because again, it's like the most isolating thing, then I'm happy that I just got triggered. But yeah. Anyway, I was saying about a heart rate monitor. I wish that it was on right now tracking, because then I would have been like, "Ooh, there's that heart rate spike." I like to watch my heart rate because I've seen a lot of people with anxiety and like, you know, just trauma survivors that are like, I will not touch a heart rate thing because it freaks me out even more. But I kind of like it. I'm like, you poor heart. It's like validating to be like, yeah, you're struggling too, aren't you? Hey, I have a melted brain too. I see you. Thank you so much. I see you in your melted brain. I think it's FOMO of like, what if they're texting? What if they're calling, stuff like that? So like, what if they're texting and calling other people? I'm sorry that I keep asking for so many clarifications, but I don't like to just like go on like rambling about, and you're like, no, I wasn't asking about that. Flashbacks are hard. Flashbacks are hard. I feel very lucky that most of the time I am able to really calmly and quickly just move on from it. But I'm only a year out, and like, I don't know what's going to pop up for me in like a year or 2 years, because, you know, when you're in these situations, okay. When you're in these situations, like, you probably are dissociating a lot. You're like just blacking out like massive chunks of the time that you're spent, you know, in it. And so you never know when that's going to come back up, because it's in there. It might be 10 years from now. It might be, you know, no, like, because they're completely blocked. So if they're texting and calling, we're missing it. When I left, I didn't block them on my iPhone. So they're blocked on all social media. They could still email me and they could still call and text me, which technically isn't no contact, right? I mean, like, nuances, but the idea is that if you go no contact, it's no contact. They cannot get a hold of you. You cannot get a hold of them. I mean, you could if you just unblock them, but like, why would you do that? You're not checking their social media. You're not having other people give you information. You're not giving information to other people. There's no exchange, right? Like, we can't be certain if that person has found a way to like see what I'm doing or what you're doing or whatever, but no contact, right? So technically, when I celebrate a year of no contact, I'm celebrating the day that I never responded to them again. And I have a whole podcast episode about when I went 1 year no contact, talking about this sort of like mistakes that I made, that if I had known better and I wasn't, oh gosh, my phone is so annoying. I'm sorry, TikTok, but like if I wasn't white knuckling it through and I had had more information, this is what I would have done. And that's one of the things is, I would have blocked them. But for a long time, I would have blocked them sooner. For a long time, I thought that I needed to know if they were trying to get in touch with me for my own safety. Well, I need to know if they're looking for me, because then I can protect myself, because and my son, we were in physical danger. And it was a control thing. Like, I had no control. And I felt like, again, if I knew they were looking for me, that I had some control over it, and that I could make a move based on whether or not they were still trying to contact me or, whatever. And I had a friend, a really good friend, and they would say, I know, like, it's fair that you feel that way. You don't really need to know. They aren't going to come. You're in Spain. I was in Spain. They aren't going to show up here. When you get back home, let's talk about it again. Right. And I was like, yeah. There's more to that. There's a lot going on why I felt like I needed to know if they're they were still living in our house. They had my dogs, they had all my stuff, all of that, so I was just like, I need to know, like, if they're whatever. But do we really need to know? And that's the thing, Tiffany, that because the trauma bond is still so real. So, and I'm going to be blunt, and it's coming from a place of love and wanting the best for you. I mean love, like, no, like love, but like, I want you to be okay. Like, you have to break the trauma bond. Hang on a second. I don't know if you have any resources to do that. I white knuckled mine. Don't white knuckle yours. Where is she? Okay. I had this. This is the Trauma Bond Recovery Journal by Lisa Sunny. She's at Stronger Than Before. It's 12 weeks of reflection after narcissistic abuse. You can see I wrote in mine. Oh, don't screenshot that, because I'll screenshot that. I don't care if you read it, but it has their name. And I don't share their information. But get this if you can. It's on Amazon. I think it's on their website. In fact, I might have like a code for this. Like, maybe I might be a discount code or something like that. So maybe I'll share that when I get off here. But you have to break the trauma bond to think clearly. And like, when you start thinking clearly, you won't care if they're trying to get a hold of you. You won't feel like you're missing out of like, well, what are they calling me for? What are they going to say to me? You'll just be like, thank God they're not popping up on my phone. I don't care what they had to say. Not my problem. Oh, it made me so sad to see you physically get triggered by my comment. I'm sorry. You're so strong. Oh, I didn't get triggered again. I didn't even catch that. Yeah. Y'all, here's the thing about survivors. Y'all catch it all. Love from Oregon. Enjoy your day. Thank you so much. Yeah. In a little bit here, I get to go pick up my kiddo, and this is his first day back at daycare since we went to visit my family for 2 weeks. And when I work, he has a babysitter who comes to our house. And so he's here when I leave and all that stuff. And so this is the first day that he's like gone back to the daycare and he's out of the house. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing him after this. So why don't the narcissists bond with their children? That's a great question. So I'm not a narcissist, obviously. Hopefully none of you think I am. I know some people like to say that I am just because I'm out here talking about it, but Lee Hammock and Ben Taylor have both created content about that. Why they don't love their children or bond with their children or connect with their children. And I saw it happen. My abuser was not my son's, biological legal parent. But I saw it happen how like they targeted my son. I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back, they targeted him knowing that I wanted another person who loved my son the way that I did and wanted to spend the amount of time that I did with him. And so they did all that, got me, attached and all that stuff, among other things. And when he was really little, like when he was just kind of talking and he was cute. He was like a year and a half and he was toddling around. They wanted to dress him really cute and they were taking care of him and they were holding him and loving him and helping him, loving him. Right. But as he got older and more difficult, right? Like as a kid starts talking more and understanding more, they're more challenging. It's like, oh my gosh, like this is so frustrating. Like then they pulled back. They started dressing him like really sloppily. Like I remember and because they were his childcare for a while because I would work and they would be home and I would come home and be like, why is he wearing rags? Like just a switch. And because the child, they see the child as like a reflection of who, like image. This child is good until they're not. And actually I've seen that with like adult narcissists with their adult children. Like you're making me look bad because you didn't get the degree that I told you to get. You don't have the job that I told you to get. You just left the military when I told you needed to go be a military pilot and then you just got discharged because you didn't, you're making me look bad. So it's partly that. And then also, I can't remember if it was Ben Taylor or Lee Hammock, but it's like, this is not enough supply for me. The kid's not really doing much for me. I'm not getting any supply. Like they're not really giving me what I need from a supply. So someone else take care of them. I got to go do my thing. I got to go do my narc thing. I don't know. That's the best answer that I can give. Not being a narcissist, not being able to fathom not loving like a human that you brought into the world. Yeah, that's what I have for you. Girl, I don't know why, but there's a really loud background noise that's making me hard to stay focused. Okay, is it better? Because I think it's my computer fan. I had you set up on my computer fan because my tripod is not good. It will just fall over if I try to put you on the tripod. So, is it any better now that you're not on top of the computer? But now I'm going to have to look over here. So much better now. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for telling me. And I'm sorry about that. I didn't even realize, but it is pretty loud. So yeah, anything else? What else are you all thinking? We've had some really good questions today. Well, if there's nothing else, I will go ahead and pop off here. But thank you all for hanging out, and I may be live the next couple of evenings, like 4, 5 p.m. Pacific time, because I have an extended break at work, so I'll be away from my kiddo anyway. So do look out for me around that time. I can't make a promise because I just never know what I'm going to get up to on my breaks. But this has been really nice, and I appreciate you all coming out, and I appreciate you having so much trust in me. And also thank you so much for seeing me the times I got triggered. It's been a while since I got triggered in a live, so thank you so much for extending that same care for me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all of your insight. You have helped my situation so immensely. You're so welcome. It really means a lot. Like, it really means, that's why I'm still talking about it. I could be done talking about abuse, but this is so important, and I'll keep working on it. It's worth it. So take care, everyone. Drink your water. Do something nice for yourself today. Again, look forward to the new podcast / YouTube video that's coming out tomorrow, where I interview another LGBTQ abuse survivor. She told the story so well, and her story is it's eerie. So unless it's going to be too triggering for you, check it out. I'm really excited to share that with you. So thank you all, and I will see you all later.